Jaded Steel sat on his couch reading a book, Singer asleep beside him. He gives a soft chuckle noticing and gently pulls a light blanket over her. He plants a kiss on her forehead, causing her to lightly smile.
I love you forever and always, my love.
He whispers into her ear. Nuzzles closer, giving a content sigh.
I can't believe it's been a year already. Time sure does fly when you're so happy together.
Jaded thought to himself.
Script deserves something special.
Jaded set his book down on a table next to the couch and pulled the blanket over them and snuggled up next to his wonderful mare friend, falling asleep quickly. Jaded woke up to the sun shining through the windows. He carefully untangled himself from Script, trying not to wake her. He smiled and stretched, kissing Script gently before going to make some breakfast. He opened his fridge to find something she might like. He muffled his footsteps as best he could using his magic once he reached the hardwood of his kitchen, wondering what to make. Script had a lot of hay burgers this past week, so best to avoid lots of grains. There rolls out waffles. He didn't have any syrup anyway, so no pancakes either. Eggs are pretty good, but how to make them? Script likes hers scrambled. He pulled the carton of eggs out of the fridge, closing it with a hoof and pulling a bowl and a fork out to start scrambling one for Script. He occasionally glanced over at her to check on her as he continued making breakfast. He finished making Script's egg, adding the seasoning and cheese and plating it up with a spell to keep it warm for her. He then began making his own breakfast. He was just plating out his eggs when he heard the staggering clopping of "I just woke up 'cause I smell food" hoofsteps behind him. He grabbed Script's plate and smiled, turning around to find Singer.
Morning, love,
he said.
Sleep well?
Script smiled at him as she let out a yawn and nodded her head.
Best night's sleep I've had in months,
she replied.
No nightmares.
That's good. It's been a while since you've had one.
Script and Jaded walked over to the couch, breakfast in tow, and snuggled together to eat.
So you haven't had one since the incident, right?
Jaded asked as he took a bite. Script shook her head as she swallowed a bite of her food.
I'm glad to finally have gotten rid of them, although I'm a little nervous that they will come back around the anniversary.
Don't be nervous. I'm sure it'll be okay this year. Besides, I don't think he is coming back anytime soon.
Script nodded as she took the last bite of her eggs and snuggled up closer to her cold friend, her eyes drooping. She shut them and quickly fell back asleep. Jaded let out a chuckle.
Asleep again?
He muttered.
What am I supposed to do with you?
She's been extremely tired as of late. Jaded carefully extracted himself once again, pulling the blanket over Script, and went to get ready for their date today. Script woke up letting out a yawn.
I must have fallen asleep again. Sorry, Jaded.
She looked over to her side, expecting to find her cold friend, but instead found a note. She picked it up and read it.
Dear Scripty, it's hard to believe that we've been together for a whole year now. I love you so much. More than you'll ever know. And I want to make tonight special for you, my lovely, beautiful mare friend. Meet me at the fancy cafe at 7 o'clock. There's a new dress in your room that I bought for you. I bought it thinking of you wearing it and looking amazing. I would love to see you in it tonight on our special date. Love, Jade.
Script smiled as she got up from the couch and walked over to the bedroom. She found a gorgeous blue dress with orange flowers as a pattern. A smile grew on Script's face as she grabbed the perfect dress and quickly got changed. Script had arrived at the cafe, finding Jaded waiting by the entrance, wearing a matching blue tuxedo with an orange flower on it and an orange tie. She smiled as she walked up to him, admiring his outfit. Jaded stared at his mere friend lovingly.
Wow,
He muttered.
you look beautiful.
Script stared at the ground and blushed, kicking her hoof around.
You always say that.
I know, but tonight, you're extra.
Script let out a giggle as she said,
So are you. The blue makes the color in your eyes pop. You look great. You're so cute when you dress up for our dates.
Jaded smiled as he put out his foreleg and Script grabbed it as they walked into the cafe. They were quickly seated and didn't have to wait very long. Script and Jaded knew exactly what to order. It wasn't their first time going to this cafe. They enjoyed the food here. Script ordered some chicken noodle soup and pasta, while Jaded just ordered a lasagna.
Same as usual?
Jaded asked. Script just let out a giggle.
Hey, I know what I like. I'm easy that way.
She replied. Jaded let out a giggle.
You're cute, you know that.
You're even cuter.
Not possible.
They both let out a laugh. Once they finished dinner, they took a stroll through town. They walked over to a bench and just cuddled for a few minutes.
Have fun, babe?
Jaded asked. Script smiled as she looked up at her cold friend.
Best date we've had so far.
Script snuggled up closer to Jaded and let out a content sigh. Jaded put his hoof around Script, pulling her close.
The stars are so beautiful tonight.
Script added.
Yeah.
Look!
Script exclaimed.
A shooting star! Quick! Make a wish!
What could I possibly wish for? I have everything that I want.
Script turned her face to her cold friend, letting out an aww, and leaned in for a kiss. They returned home faster than either wanted. If they could, they would spend this moment with each other forever. They both held each other as they began walking back to Jaded's house. Script walked into the bathroom, taking off her dress and makeup, when Jaded snuck up behind her and nibbled on her ear teasingly. Script let out a giggle as she removed her eyeshadow and then turned to her lover and embraced him. He then wrapped his hooves around her, walked her over to the bedroom, and laid her down gently. He laid down beside her, giving her a hard, long kiss as she wrapped her hooves around him, not daring to pull away. Finally, Script pulled away from the kiss for a breath of air, then quickly pulled back in, letting her hooves explore his body. Jaded pulled away and stared into his mere friend's eyes, smiling. Script just snuggled in closer and buried her muzzle in his fur.
I'll love you forever, my love.
Script whispered. Jaded smiled.
I love you too.
Script gazed into her cold friend's eyes, just laying with him for what felt like a perfect eternity, before falling asleep, wrapped up in his hooves.